What's up guys? Today I'm doing a video review of shooting earmuffs, and I happen to have all three of the main products on the market right now on Amazon. So I figured this could be a really great comparison to give you an idea of the differences between the three models and the three brands and help you understand which one is the best option for you. So first of all, let's talk about the size. Here we have the Peltor Range Guard. Here we have the Walker's Razor, and here we have the Howard Impact Sport. And you can probably tell that they're in order of size. The Peltor are the smallest, and the Howard Impact Sport are the biggest. Okay. Now, I have a fairly big hat. My wife has a slightly smaller hat, and I can say that both the Peltor and the Walkers fit me right. The Howard Impact Sport don't. They're actually too big even for me. And for my wife, both of these two don't fit right, and this is the only one that can fit her well. So if you have a medium to small head, this is definitely your best bet. If you have a medium large hat, both of these are pretty good options, and I would say that this is only a good option if you have quite a large head, because you can just tell that the cups are bigger, the loop is bigger, they're just bigger. And the main problem with shooting earmuffs is that if they're too big, they're not going to be able to create a proper seal around your ear, and sound is going to get in and they're not going to protect your ears. So that kind of defeats the purpose. It's it's probably the most important thing to have proper seal of the cups around your ear. So this is as far as size. In terms of comfort, now comfort is related to size. It's also related to how the padding, the foam is, and I would say both of these are pretty good. The Peltor and the Walkers they're fairly comfortable. The foam is pretty soft, and they don't apply too much pressure on your head. So I would say they're both pretty comfortable. The Howard Impact Sport, I found these to be the least comfortable of the three. Obviously, also because they are a little too big, but I noticed that the thickness of the foam seems to be a little bit less. And I don't know if you can tell, but if you compare this to this, you can probably see that there is a little bit more thickness here and here as well. So this is another aspect in which the Peltor and the Walkers, I think, win hands down compared to the Howard Impact Sport. Now, in terms of features, all three are pretty similar. They are electronic earmuffs, so you have microphones. See here, here, and here, and basically you have a volume wheel, and you can turn them on, and that's really great because you can actually hear your range officer instructions. You can talk to your friends or whatever. You can hear people, but then as soon as there is a loud noise, the microphone shuts down and your ears are protected. Now, all three have the ability to connect, say, an MP3 player. If you want to maybe listen to some music, they can pretty much kind of work like headphones. So features wise, all three are pretty similar. One difference is where the volume wheel is positioned. So in the Peltor, this is the volume wheel, and you can turn it up and down, you can turn it on and off, etc. With the Walkers, this is the volume wheel, and with the Howard Impact Sport, this is the wheel. Now, of all three, I found the positioning of the volume wheel on the Peltor to be just the most convenient, easy to use. This is just a personal preference, though. You might prefer one of the other two. One thing that is a really big difference is the quality of the audio. So with the Peltor and with the Howard Impact Sport, you hear the audio quality is very, very good. Once you turn up the volume enough, it kind of sounds like you're not wearing ear protection at all. You can hear the sounds just as well as if you had no earmuffs. In fact, if you crank it up to the max, it's actually sounds are slightly louder than how they are. They're kind of amplified a little bit, and this is especially true with the Howard Impact Sport. If you crank up the sound to the maximum, it definitely amplifies sounds quite a bit. But even the Peltor does definitely amplify sounds a bit. The Walker's Razor, the audio quality is terrible. It really sucks. Voices sound just really kind of artificial. It kind of almost sounds like you're talking to somebody at the phone, and the voice is kind of just, artificial, and sounds kind of sound weird. Like if you were, I don't know, in a hallway or something, or a small room, and there is that kind of bizarre sound distortion. So in terms of sound quality, by far the Peltor and the Howard are they're very good, and they're by far much better than the Walker's Razor. I actually find the weird sound distortion with the Walker Razor kind of distracting and really annoying. So also the loop shape is slightly different with the Peltors. It's a little more rounded, and with the Walkers and the Howard, it's a little more kind of almost square shaped in a way with angles. Again, personal preference. I find this to fit my head just more naturally, and my wife also agrees that these ones are the ones that fit the best. So my personal opinion is that of all three, the Peltor, Range Guard are way better. I'm not saying that the other ones are necessarily super bad, but they just have some kind of flaws, some kind of problems that I just think make them inferior. Again, you might have a really big head, and you might find that if the Howard Impact Sport fit you well in terms of quality, they're pretty good. The sound quality is pretty good. The seal might be, I don't know, maybe not as great, but again, if your head is big enough, maybe they can still create a pretty good seal. But overall, in terms of just comfort, in terms of audio quality, in terms of just fit and finish, in terms of just ease of use, I find that the Peltor Range Guard are just the best option out there. And I know this is partially subjective, partially objective. I did a bunch of research before buying them, and this was actually my first choice. And then there was some discount on the other two, so I wanted to just buy them and try them. But I think I'm just gonna stick with the Peltor, and I can definitely recommend the Peltor Range Guard.